Hi kids, good morning. So I wanted to tell you a funny thing. Jamie Dimon, the CEO of, got low power. Why do I always do this? Every time I turn on that phone, it's not enough power. Sorry. I'll have to make this fast. The head of JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon, had an explosive speech the other day against Bitcoin. He says, look, what is this? You can't just, make money out of a computer, out of thin air, and get rich on it. Don't you know that you're all falling for a fraud? There's going to be a disaster coming, in no time. And he went on to vaguely threaten to fire any employee of JP Morgan who is interested in Bitcoin, because he says it's evil and dumb, So of course, therefore a firing offense, and all the press coverage of this thing. And by the way, a lot of people think that somehow this is why Bitcoin took a price hit over the last several days, which I don't believe. I mean, Bitcoin is looking for an excuse to pull back from some of these just utterly preposterous gains over the last month. And right now, even though what is the price now? 3,700, 3,600. That's the price it was last month. So this is, if you've been following Bitcoin for a long time, this is just how we do, But anyway, back to JP Morgan. So here's this guy. He's like so upset, and it was just so interesting because he's one of the masters of the universe, the inheritor of the great, the great engine of financial capitalism, working hand in hand with government. I've been getting bailouts and protections from the state for about 100 years. I mean, I was looking this thing up. Even in 2008, before you and I knew that there was going to be a housing crisis, but at a time when George Bush himself was denying that there was any problem, the Fed bailed out JP Morgan, which is already experiencing all sorts of problems, in March. With a $12 billion, money out of thin air, just to prop up that bank. I mean, it's hardly. Anyway. So that's what money out of thin air is. Jamie Dimon doesn't need to be talking about Bitcoin. And plus, as I explained in an article just now that I put online, Bitcoin isn't made out of thin air. It's made out of the processing power that's required to confirm transactions in a distributed ledger that ports immutable information packets peer-to-peer. Okay, that's how it works. Why is he so threatened? Obviously, it's because Bitcoin represents a completely different way of doing business. And it's not just Bitcoin, it's all blockchain technology. We're talking about distributed ledgers that work without financial intermediaries, like, guess what, JP Morgan. But here's what's funny to me. I really could not understand, why is this man raging so hard for his machine and against Bitcoin? Why did he do it then? And he mentions just in passing, because I don't know if you've ever heard him talk, let's just say he's got anger issues, right? But, so he says, look, even my own daughter is interested in Bitcoin, and I told her this is just ridiculous. Okay, so then I began to get a sense of what must have happened. It must have been something like, I don't know how old his daughter is, but it must have been something like, he's having dinner with his daughter. She first takes a food selfie, and posts it on Instagram, and then says, hey daddy, check this out, and shows him, her probably her Coinbase, Bitcoin wallet, and shows that she's making money. She's like, look, I'm making money just like you in finance, it's just awesome. And that must have just caused him to, spit his soup across the table. And it was after that he was like, hey, what is with this stupid kid? I didn't give her permission to get this cryptocurrency. Who does she think she is? So I think it must have gone something like that. Permissionless investing, permissionless holding of currencies and trading of currency securities is a nightmare for the financial establishment. And I think that his whole rage was stemmed from fear of his own obsolescence. So that's what I call the article that I just put up on fee.org, and you'll see it because it features a very angry Tyrannosaurus Rex on the cover. Anyway, you'll enjoy it. I hope you do. All the best to you. Bye bye.